There are many ideologies or schools of thought that exist in the world. So many, in fact, even the list of categories isn't exactly short. There are political, social, sexual, philosophical, religious, and even more kinds of ideologies. I've noticed a lot of misinformation being stated by people speaking on many different ideologies, which is kind of concerning because it brings to mind an obvious question. What makes people even do that? I believe the reason is we confuse identity and affiliation. There's a big difference, and that's exactly what this particular video is about. Follow me. Because of the point I want to make, let's define identity as well as define affiliation. An identity is a close affinity for something, as well as the fact of being who or what a person or thing is. In other words, it's who you are and or what you like. I'll use feminism as an example. If you agree with feminism in fact and or feel an affinity towards it, it's your identity. In part or in whole, it is your identity. In contrast, affiliation means to officially attach or connect to something, typically a person, an organization, or an idea. In other words, when you officially represent something or someone, you are declaring or claiming your affiliation. Let's stop here to make the distinction between identity and affiliation. I'll use MGTOW or men going their own way as an example. If you agree with men going their own way, you identify as a MGTOW, in part or possibly in whole and completely. On the other hand, if you claim affiliation with MGTOW, you are claiming officially that you are an associate and therefore represent MGTOW. The important difference here is the word officially. Another important word is represent. That distinction is important because not making it can and in fact does lead to misunderstandings and conflict, which is not something that promotes intellectual and social growth. To put it colloquially, using MGTOWs and feminists as an example, all right, there are people who don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're engaging in dialogue with other people on top of that, which is like crazy and really like irresponsible, and that's why I call that shit crazy. Because in engaging and observing these exchanges in real life and on social media, I've seen feminists often informed on MGTOW mainly by talking to idiots who identify with but are not affiliated with MGTOW. And MGTOWs are equally guilty of often being informed on feminism by idiots who identify with but are not affiliated with feminism. You know, you talk to the street soldiers, but you're supposed to get the game from the OG. You know, you're supposed to get the details from the master, not the student. For me, that begs another obvious, at least seemingly obvious question. Who are the authorities? Well, all I want to say on that is that most ideologies do have some kind of an authority. The majority of people who identify with that ideology agree should wear the badge of affiliation. They agree that they should represent them. They are also the primary people to go to if you choose to get your info by word of mouth. Meaning, if you're not in the mood, you don't have the time, you don't care enough about it to go, read a dissertation on it, read a book about it, etc., and you just want to maybe hit somebody's Twitter account, Facebook page, or whatever, you got to go to the people who are representative, who are given the badge of affiliation by the group. And honestly, to find them, it does take a little bit of effort, it does take a little bit of thinking, and it does take a little bit of intellectual honesty. But let's be real, we all have that, right? You're intellectually honest, right? Okay, so I'm tempted to say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me as well. But that's a whole nother video. So I'll end this by saying these arguments and conflicts are mostly unnecessary due to the vast amount of uninformed dissenters. Disagreeing out of ignorance is a cancer to peace and unity. I say that and believe that so emphatically because as a male, I have had intense and great, honest and intellectually honest conversations with non-males about male issues and have been able to get points across and understand what the anathema is. Now, I'm not an expert, but I'm intellectually honest, therefore I do not hesitate to cite my sources, to say who I got that information from, where I got that information from. Because all in all, the goal is for everybody to have their equality. At least I'm hoping that's the goal. Anyways, peace.